All right, we are going to start with a quick preview of the PGA Championship at Oak Hill this weekend. A couple things to note about the course. It's just a par 70, yet it's super long, and there's some very difficult par 4s. There are 4 extremely hard par 4s, hole number 6, hole number 16, hole number 17, and hole number 18. All 4 of these holes are right around 500 yards for a par 4, so extremely difficult. Another thing to mention is there's not a whole lot of trees on the course, but the roughs are extremely thick and hard to get out of. Based off how the course plays, I think there's 5 important categories to look at when determining who to place bets on. The first category is strokes gained on approach. Number 1, no surprise, is Jon Rahm. Number 2 is Tony Finau. Number 3 is Collin Morikawa. Number 4 is Wyndham Clark. And number 5 is Scottie Scheffler. Really no surprises there with Rahm and Scheffler. A couple surprises with Clark. Finau and Morikawa known to be pretty good approach players, but Clark is kind of a sleeper in that category. Just keep track of a couple of these names. The second category I think is important is strokes gained on the tee. Number 1 is Patrick Cantlay. Number 2 is Scottie Scheffler. Number 3 is Victor Hovland. Number 4 is Gary Woodland. And number 5 is Sungjae Im. Because of the course's layout, it's only a par 70. It's super long at over 7,200 yards. We're looking at strokes gained on similar golf courses. And number 1 in that category is Dustin Johnson. Number 2 is Brooks Koepka. Number 3 is Jordan Spieth. Number 4 is Matsuyama. And number 5 is Jason Day. 2 more categories here. 1 is the driving distance. I think this is extremely important because of how long the course is. The further you can drive, the shorter your approach shot is, and it's going to help you in the long run. So number 1 on this list is Rory. Number 2 is Cam Young. Number 3 is Hogyard. Number 4 is Arnaeus, and number 5 is DeChambeau. And finally, the last category I looked at is bogey avoidance. Number 1 on this list is Jason Day. Number 2 is Scottie Scheffler. Number 3 is Wyndham Clark. Number 4 is Matsuyama, and number 5 is Fitzpatrick. So based off how the course plays and how each player ranks in these categories, I determined who I'm going to bet on outright, who I'm going to bet on top 5, and who I'm going to bet on top 10. And let's get into it. So no surprise here, my favorite outright is Scottie Scheffler. He is the favorite to win this tournament, but he also ranks super well in my categories. Scottie is 5th on strokes gained on approach, 2nd on strokes gained off the tee, and 2nd on bogey avoidance. So he is top 5 on 3 of my categories. Gotta take him as a favorite here. I know it's a little square, but too good a value here. Moving on, we're going to take another pick that I love, Patrick Cantlay, plus 1,800 to win it outright. Now, I despise Cantlay. I can't stand his pace of play. It's extremely slow. He's getting to become a very annoying golfer. However, he's been playing very well. Cantlay's biggest thing is he's super consistent. He hits the ball super straight, and because of that, he ranks number 1 on strokes gained off the tee. He's solid on the approach. He just doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. He's not going to do anything flashy, but he just doesn't make mistakes. So I think just how he's been playing recently, I think he's a great value here at plus 1,800. And because I like him so much, I'm also taking him at top 5 at plus 360. Now, I didn't take Scottie top 5 just because the value wasn't there. But at plus 360 for Patrick Cantlay, I think that's great value. And yep, you guessed it. You can take this one up to 2-3 units if you want, but we're taking Cantlay top 10 in this one. Same exact thought process as before. I don't have to go into a whole lot of explaining here. Moving on, we're taking Dustin Johnson to win outright at plus 2,500. Now, the LIV guys actually performed really well at the Masters. Koepka and Mickelson finished tied for 2nd. And the guy no one likes, Patrick Reed, finished tied for 4th. So the LIV guys performed well. I think they're going to perform once again at another major. However, the guy that didn't really perform at the Masters was DJ. I think this is a huge redemption spot for him. He also plays this type of course really well. He ranks 1st overall in strokes gained on par 70s over 7,200 yards. So I really like DJ in this tournament outright. He did not have a good Masters, so I think, again, this is a really big come-up spot for him. And because of that, we're also taking DJ top 5 at plus 550. And you guessed it, we're taking DJ top 10 plus 260. Love DJ in this tournament. I love the value. I think he's going to have a really solid performance. Another LIV guy, I'm taking Koepka top 10 at plus 220. Now, I don't like Koepka to win it all. I don't even like Koepka top 5, really. The value just isn't there. But I do like him at top 10. I think he's going to stay competitive. I just really don't think it's his tournament. And then another guy I really like is Jason Day. We're taking him top 5 at plus 550. And we're also taking Jason Day top 10 at plus 260. Jason Day jumped out on the list a couple times. He ranked 5th overall in strokes gained on this type of course, and he also ranked 1st overall in bogey avoidance. So I like Jason Day. Again, I don't think he's a contender to win it all, but I do think he's going to compete in that top 10, top 5. And finally, you got to have some long shots. You got to have some sleepers. And our first sleeper is Wyndham Clark, and we're taking him to win it all at plus 8,000. Now, if you remember, Clark was on this list a couple times. He ranked 4th overall in strokes gained on approach, and he ranked 3rd overall in bogey avoidance. So he's ranked in the top 5 of 2 of my 5 categories. Got to take him at plus 8,000. Too sneaky of a pick here. And then our last sleeper, Gary Woodland, plus 10,000. Woodland ranked 4th on strokes gained off the tee, and again, I really like how he plays on this type of course. I also saw a lot of guys high on Gary Woodland on Twitter, so I'm going to take him at plus 10,000. Again, small unit play here, but it is a great sleeper pick. I'm feeling pretty good about these bets. Hopefully we can get a profit, but hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully this was helpful. Make sure you are liking and subscribing. Really appreciate it. See you guys.
Welcome to Better Win Green, eh? To Better Win Green, eh? To Better Win Green, eh? Listen in and cash out, that's what it's all about. Come on, let's make cash now. We always on spot and we cover all spots from the bottom to the top, eh? Shout out to Ethan, shout out to Wyatt, shout out to Ben. Welcome to our podcast, Better Win Green.